Yeah, hello wonderful people, viewers and subscribers. Welcome back on this platform, BVI Channel 1. Today we're going to talk about something very important in our society, building a very powerful system requires ethical leadership, and that is what have been elusive in this part of the world, talking about Nigeria and particularly Igbo land. And today I have with me a special guest all the way from United States of America. I've hosted her on a live program, and today we are here together to deliberate on this as she's making her own contribution towards establishing ethical leadership that will guarantee good governance. I have with me Dr. Scholastica Ilohalo. You're welcome.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you back here.
Pleasure to meet you too.
Okay. Now let's talk about this. Ethical leadership. What's your perspective with respect to Nigerian system, what is obtainable in Nigerian system, and what it should be, and what is obtainable outside this country?
Okay. Ethical leadership, what it shows is like leaders, all leaders need to have ethical principles within them, in their system, to be able to practice well as a leader. And in overseas where I am in USA, I think it's the something, ethics is something that's universal. Everybody, irrespective of where you are, supposed to practice ethical leadership in all you do. So talking about having what is obtainable here and what's obtainable in United States, it should be the same thing. Wherever you are, you practice the same thing. But what I noticed that is like, what it all means is that it has to be something that comes from the home. Because family is very important. It's a very important institution, but most of the time people neglect that. Okay. That's why they say that people, parents, mothers and fathers should pay attention to their children when they are growing up. Give them that moral values that are necessary. Because when they do this will transverse in all their areas of life. So it is very important to have that conscience to be able to practice what is right. So to me, it's the same everywhere, whether it's in diaspora or it's here in Igbo land or in Nigeria.
Okay, now looking at bad governance, we've been handling the issues of bad governance, and that has been the cause of system failure, educational failure, healthcare failure, the economy, security, job creation. In fact, there has been so much. In fact, Nigeria is tackling what they call corruption. It has become an institution in Nigeria. And what is your view with respect to ethical leadership, putting it side by side with corrupt practices we have in Nigeria? How can it be addressed?
If we go back to the same thing I said before, it has to come from the home. I know most people have already grown, they're adults, and if it's something they didn't get when they were growing up, it might be difficult for them to practice. But at the same time, it's just like going to school or learning any trade. Yeah. They can still practice that. Just knowing the right thing. There's nothing wrong with doing the right thing. Everybody knows the right thing to do. But the only thing with the corruption is that people are selfish. Okay. Selfishness and lack of conscience. Because if you have conscience and you're not selfish, you think about your fellow person or about like you're a leader, you know the masses, the poor people that have nobody to talk for them or to care for them. If you think about them, you should be able, before you take any action, you should be able to put them in perspective, not thinking about only yourself, maybe the money you put in your own pocket. You need to think about those people that you left behind that are lower. And again, when you're as a leader of any group, you have to be humble. Humble yourself means that you're like a servant. Okay. That's what the definition of leadership means. But here, let me compare the two. Here in Nigeria, for instance, the leaders are like the other way around.
The emperors.
Yes, they want people to look up to them as like, oh, they are God, that they are this, they have to be worshipped. But it's not supposed to be that way. A leader should humble himself and be a servant, should be the last to do anything that needs to benefit them. They shouldn't benefit first. the masses need to benefit from.
And that is what is obtainable. In fact, most of the thing they do is they think about themselves first before even thinking about the people.
That's not what it's supposed to be. A good leader should think about the masses first.
Okay, now that we've tackled the issue of the political leaders, now you've narrowed down ethical leadership to family level, which means everyone has a leadership role. And from the system, from the society we are now living in, we have people who are corrupt in their individual level, at the family level. What impact do you think they are going to transfer or make on the younger generation, their children and the rest of them? I think that is where the whole problem lies. Individual leadership from the family level, just like you mentioned. How do we address this?
So they said na suna ni Igbo na mmiri agbalugo in a way.
Yeah.
Mmiri agbalugo that's oga it's just like something they're supposed to revamp it back oga difficult. And it will take time. It's not that it's impossible. There's nothing impossible in this life. Okay. But you just have to be patient and take time and then to go. So as it is now, what they need to do is to start teaching people or showing people examples, something that will make them realize whatever they are doing that is not right. Yeah. And then the young ones growing up from the family, they should be taught. Because it's good when you are younger, you learn a lot. Yeah. And those inculcating those morals and values are more seeps in when the person is younger. But it's not that you can, just like going to school. Yeah. Anybody, even if you are 80 years old, you can still go to school and learn. So there's nothing wrong with that. So the new ones, what I've noticed that the youth, they've been looking at the leaders, they think that those are if they have to be a model to them. Many of them are not model to them, and some of them are kind of disappointed. They don't know where to start. But my advice to them will be, just be yourself, do the right thing, just think about it. I know I don't want to bring religion into this because everybody has different religious views and perspectives. So it's just knowing what is it that if you do it right, if somebody is going to do it to you, that you are going to, somebody is going to do something that is not right to you, you not like it. So the same thing you need to do to other people. So even though the leaders have disappointed the young ones, they can still go ahead and then watch. There are leaders, people that are still good. Yeah. Among those leaders. There are some of them, not that everybody is bad, but they should look for mentors, the one that will show them good model to follow, not to leave the other one. It's just like being in, they say, show me who your friend is. And if you know you have friends or people, the environment where you are, and you feel that you're not gaining something that is right, you can always change. Okay. So you just have to pay attention to your surrounding or whoever you're relating with. If you think this person is not going to make any difference in your life, the best thing for you is to look for another person that will give you more benefit to what life is all about. So that will be the thing that they should be doing now, and then keep working towards doing the right thing, and also the ethics, knowing the principles of ethics. If they can kind of look at it as a standard or norm, it's like before you make any decision, you look at those. There are 6 bioethical tools. You look at them, each of them, and say, am I doing right? Is it okay? Is this okay? Is this okay? Look at all of them like that and see which of them, if I've already applied each of them in all you do at the end, you can be able to make your decision. Okay. So given those standards, let's look at it. Just like when we are growing up, and as I said, I don't want to bring religion here. We have the 10 Commandments, which is universal, except for the maybe Muslims. But every Christian know that in the Bible, I think Deuteronomy chapter 20 or something like that, where they talk about the commandment, just from number 1 to 10. If you can look at each, before you take any action, look at those commandments.
And make it like a principle of life. How to live. And now talking about the next generation, she's an author. She has put it in a book format, that's leadership, ethical leadership. This is authored by her in healthcare and every aspect of life. That is the book. She had authored it, Dr. Scholastica Ilohalo. And talking about reading, they say if you want to hide anything from an African, put it in a book. And we're talking about transferring this knowledge to the younger generation. I think, from my own perspective, that if this ethical leadership can be adopted in the school system as in form of maybe subject from primary school to secondary school and to the tertiary institution, and you think it's going to make impact? I mean, ethical leadership.
It will. It will make impact. I remember when I was during my secondary school year.
Yeah.
We have what we call the moral instruction.
Yeah.
It's part of the curriculum.
I don't think those things are now effective
these days. Yes.
Yeah.
So if they can think about things like that and bring it back to school, and that's the way that the formation stage of people's life within the school when they were growing up. So that if they can bring something like this book, each school, and like I said when I was giving my talk yesterday, I said every family needs this book.
Yeah.
So you keep it in the family, everybody read it and see the content and see what is in it and be able to practice it and implement it.
And
so
teach the children.
Teach the children.
Yeah.
The same goes for the school. So if the school can have this in their library and make the students buy the book and keep it with them, and each time they flip through the chapters, I'm sure even if one page, it will make an impact in their life.
Exactly.
So continuous reinforcement of what is right to be done, and within time it will be part of the person.
So, and it will not have a reflection in our society.
Yes, and yeah, because from the home, from individual,
yes.
Every individual is doing the right thing. I don't think anybody, when you are in a group of 10 people, the 9 people are doing the right thing and you're the only person, you have to ask yourself question.
Yeah, of course, and definitely they will be on the minority, those who are unethical. And also we will now have the opportunity of producing ethical leaders.
Yes.
Not people who are going to siphon money, primitively accumulate wealth they don't need. You know, and that has been the cause of the suffering of our people. You know, in our society today, it's very difficult for you to say, we are having a better governance. What we have is successive bad governance, and that is why we've come out for good governance ministry to preach good governance, and also which can only be obtainable when you have good ethical leaders.
Yes.
And that is why it's important we bring you this book. You can get this book on Amazon, right?
You can contact me.
You can also contact the number on the screen. When you call the number anywhere in Nigeria, it can be sent to you. And schools, in case you want a delivery of these books for your libraries, it will also be delivered to you. Just contact the numbers on the screen. It is very important. Many of us don't like reading. Many of us are pursuing stuff and thinking, listen, when you buy this book and give it to your child as a novel, it is far better than some of the storylines you are giving to them. All these storylines, it doesn't shape in their head. In fact, it makes their head dull. So when you start shaping their head, their mind, their mindset with this kind of books from secondary school, primary school, secondary school, it will make serious impact. So I encourage everyone to look out for this book, Ethical Leadership in Healthcare and Other Industry, other aspects of life. It is very important. It is a book that everyone have to keep, and I've already taken one. Thank you so much for giving us your time and making our time to come down here to make this impact.
Okay, you can also check I have a website.
Okay.
So you can also check my website, drscoge at gmail. That's my email at gmail.com. Info at drscoge at gmail.com. That's my info email. But my website, www.drscoge.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're seeing that on the screen there. It's already displayed there on the screen. You can use that to reach out to her through the email and also through the website. You can also call the numbers you're seeing on the screen to have a copy of this book. If it's going to be a Christmas and New Year gift you're going to give someone, I think it is most appreciated. We don't know the impact you're making in our society. Thank you very much for watching this far, and we're signing out, praying that you all will embrace the truth coming from this platform and the effort we are making, and people like her contributing immensely to shaping our society for good. I'm signing out. I'm Asuchin Peters. Stay safe, stay connected, and don't forget to share this video as we all move together to make our society a better place. compliment of the season. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's not always easy to have a book directly authored by, they call it autograph, right?
Yes.
You see that? So I've gotten one. These are kind of book we read that makes us do what we do. So when you see us do what we do, it is not by magic. We read this kind of book, and everyone needs to get this book so that we create more ethical leaders. It is possible. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. Thank you.